Black Republicans were forced to become Democrats. They were forced by intimidation. They were forced by losing their lives. They were forced by getting ran off of their land. And for the Black Republican politicians, many of them was even bribed to become Democrats. Today we're going to be jumping into a story of a Black Republican state legislator of Georgia, how he was bribed and almost lost his life to leave the Republican Party. Let's get into it. Welcome back, y'all, to another one. If this is your first time here, this is our digital classroom by the name of Unspoken Curriculum. Inside of our class, we talk about history as well as politics and many of the things that we did not learn in our traditional public school. Now, today I want to bring you guys a very interesting part of our history. And I want to bring this to you because I want to show you that in one point of time, Democrats were so desperate and they were getting their behinds kicked by these Black Republican politicians that they went as far as to bribing them to leave the Republican Party and become Democrats. Now, a figure that I want to use today, his name is Abram Colby. Abram Colby was once an enslaved man, and once he gained his freedom, like majority of the Black people at that time, they became Republicans. Now, he became a radical Republican. If you're not familiar with radical Republicans were your constitutionalists. They were your conservatives, all right? They got the name radical as an insult from liberal Democrats. Liberal Democrats could not fathom that these newly freed people would even believe that the U.S. Constitution would protect them and apply to them. Now, your Black Republicans at that time, they wanted to conserve the 13th Amendment, the 14th Amendment, the 15th Amendment. They also wanted to conserve the U.S. government's promise to Black America, all right? They were very conservative. I just had to get that out there because there's too many people saying these Black Republicans were liberal. No, they weren't, all right? They were conservatives. Now, back to Mr. Colby. Mr. Colby was also a very successful politician. He served in the Georgia House of Representatives as well as the state legislature. He served for 3 terms during the Reconstruction era, and he was very, very charismatic. He was also very influential. He was a really good organizer as well. He was so good at organizing that he organized pretty much the whole Black population inside of Greene County, Georgia, to vote Republican. And he did that again in 1868 to vote for the upcoming president, Ulysses S. Grant. Now, your Democratic Party saw how influential he was and how he was able to get masses of people to vote for the Republican Party. They wanted him. They wanted to recruit him. They bribed him. They offered him $5,000 in 1868, y'all. This is equivalent to over 6 figures today. They offered him that to give up his seat and then leave the Republican Party and become a Democrat. He refused because just like him, many of your Black people at that time was very loyal to the Republican Party. He kept refusing over and over and over, and the Democratic Party was done. They were so done that they used their paramilitary group and their assassins, which was the KKK, to go after Mr. Colby. So one night in October, 65 KKK members showed up in his house. They broke in. They snatched him out of bed in front of his wife, his daughter, and his mother. They dragged him out to the street. They stripped him naked. His daughter was pleading and screaming for them not to take her father. She was pleading so much that one of the members put their firearm toward her head until she shut up. They dragged him out into the woods. They beat him for 3 hours. And as they were beating him, they asked him, would he ever vote Republican again? Even after getting beat this amount of time, he told them that if the election was tomorrow, he would still vote Republican. After all this beating, y'all. He also told them that they can offer him the money that the whole county is worth, and he still would not become a Democrat. They continued beating him. They beat him until they thought he was no longer here. But he was. He ended up getting to the doctor. They pronounced him dead because they thought he was, but he was actually still living. He ended up going to court and speaking out against the Triple K and giving his first hand of him being the witness. And this caused President Ulysses S. Grant to really push through the Triple K Act of 1871, which put an end to them, okay? Or attempted to put an end to them. The very sad part about this, while I wrap up, y'all, his daughter went in so much shock that she soon passed away. He said that was his biggest grievance of his life, that his daughter had to watch that. And her trying to protect them or protect him, it caused her so much shock that she passed away. This is the story of what your Democrats was doing. This is the story that they used the Triple K to handle their missions and their assassination attempts. This is to show you that black people were forced